For this question, we're making playlists, and order does matter. And so what we're going to do is we're going to lay this out. Now, just a reminder, make sure you try all these questions before you check out the video. So much more beneficial to you if you give it a good try before you get to this point. So let's lay this one out. So we're talking about a 7-song playlist. And so let's just lay out what we have for numbers. So our n, which is our number of objects that we choose from, or our set, and we have 10 songs that we're choosing from. And then r, from our equation, is the number of objects being selected for each group. And in this case, we're saying it's 7-song playlist. So there we go, and we can lay out our formula, and we know that it lays out like this. And we have a factorial on the top and a factorial on the bottom. And in our case, the n is 10 and the r is 7. So we could lay that out as 10 factorial over 10 minus 7 factorial. And that gives us 10 factorial over 10 minus 7 is 3 factorial. And we're ready to go. And so at this point, we could plug that into our calculator. It comes out, let's see, 604,800. And if we decided to do that on a calculator, we would just plug it in as 10 and then our permutations formula and 7. And if we were to do that in Desmos, then we would do it looking like this, 10 and 7. And so basically, they're all the same, just slightly different formats in which we enter them. One thing I should point out here is that we could have used the fundamental counting principle for this one certainly as well. In other words, we could have laid it out as there are 7 options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, get rid of that one. And we could say that there were 10 options, and then there's no repeat here. We only use the song once. So then 9 times 8 times 7, 6, 5, 4. And that comes out the exact same as what we have over there. So 2 options, or actually a number of options in how we can solve this problem. Now, we're asked in the second part of this question if we had 9-song playlist, and how would that change things? Well, if we had 9 songs, then there would be more options, right? We can probably picture that is that if the R was 9 here, everything works out a little bit differently. We're dividing by a smaller number, so we end up with a bigger overall number. However you want to justify it. We could also rationalize it in our head, and we think about, well, we had about 600,000 options for the 7-song playlist. And if we consider that each of these 600,000 options, had we added an extra 2 songs, we would be able to fit those songs in any different position within those playlists. It certainly adds to more options. So in other words, just being able to think about adding more songs to those playlists and how it impacts the calculation is worthwhile.